I hope I don't look red. But anyway, hi Aquarius, and welcome to your May reading. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Midheaven, and or Venus. However, whoever clicked on this video, understand you were brought here for a reason, and so I hope you hear all that you need at this time, and definitely do subscribe before you leave. I've switched some things up this month. I've been guided to pull just one singular card for the overly thematic reading, and I'm supporting this decision. I'm liking this a lot better for the time being, because especially for those that are new to tarot and astrology, you can just hone in on one specific energy and kind of know how to work around it or to use it to your advantage at the very least, instead of looking at all of these cards which provide different stimuli just depending on how you perceive them to be, and not knowing like which is the starting point, right? The focal or central theme that you actually have to overcome or delve deeper into for the month. So that's what it is. And let me know, definitely give me some positive feedback if you like how this will turn out for you at the end. But I have already shuffled the cards. Interestingly enough, the Empress card was kind of like peeking out, but the card that jumped out for you guys for the month of May is the Eight of Cups. Emotional imbalance, emotional lack, looking at things as the glass half empty instead of half full, or realizing that you guys, like, I'm getting the sense of this for a lot of signs, but like there's an element missing. Something is missing for fulfillment. And because I saw the Empress card, it may be a Taurus that you've had to walk away from on an emotional level. You had to stop investing into because it just wasn't generating anything. It wasn't growing as it should have been. Or somebody with heavy Taurus placements, right? They may not be a sun sign, could be rising, could be moon sign, could be their Venus and how they express themselves. And there's just some sort of like block, like emotional block when it comes to like the sensitivities of that sign. Or maybe this is you guys, right? Because you come off so cool and detached, and so it may not read or translate well, despite the fact that you care. Maybe you haven't been able to physically show that enough, okay? Or because the Empress is more of like a nurturing, mothering card, it can be issues with the mother that you haven't received love from. And so maybe that is the stem, right? The root of all evil, if you will, and what has to be transmuted in the month of May with this water energy, and with the 8 being associated with Scorpio's house, all about death, expulsion, upheaval, sacrifice, death, okay, but rebirth in a sense, right? Some sort of rejuvenation. The Eight of Cups, once you see this card, it's like, okay, I've done the best that I can with what I have, the resources that I have, or with what I don't have. This is something that just can't be done at the moment because I don't have the appropriate funds, or because I don't have the best understanding of, right? I don't have the emotional intelligence to sift through, okay, to see through here with that. This is all about like transparency here. Some of you guys are trying your luck and that's not going to work to your benefit. Sorry, I have a phone charging. Is that an omen? But some of you guys have been trying your luck, and in this month you don't need to do that with anything, with any person, with anything, with placing your bets on any place. Maybe you guys are feeling a little bit lost because you don't know your place, right? You haven't found your, I want to say, coven. Don't know why, so we're just gonna go with it. but your tribe in a sense, because the Empress card, let me try to pull that card just so you guys can see it, because the garment that the woman is wearing, it looks very tribal. All right, so maybe those concepts are coming through for you guys. This is what the card looks like for those that have never seen the Fountain Tarot deck. You see what I'm saying? So that can be the issue there, and why there is this overwhelming sense of sadness. When I see the Eight of Cups, I definitely get like somebody crying when nobody is looking, like definitely hurt feelings, okay? Because once somebody turns their back, that's pretty much it. So either you have done this or somebody else has done this to you. Okay, maybe this is some sort of karmic debt that you've also had to pay off because of the way that you may have acted 8 months ago with somebody else, 8 years ago with somebody else. And you know, sometimes that's just the cards that you have been dealt. It's never positive, negative, or neutral. It's just for you to take a moment to observe and see how you feel. If it's not something that you care to experience again, I bet you'll make the appropriate changes to ensure that you move from a more authentic space, and that you have a little bit more integrity when you go about doing things, when you go about speaking with people, and just how you treat people. Because Coin's energy, the Empress energy, can also be about like how one treats oneself and others, right? And that can be rooted from self-esteem. Maybe you have high self-esteem or low self-esteem. That's something that has been a little bit off balance. And so the way that you regard others is very reflective of the positive and negative end of that spectrum. Again, positive, negative, it's all relative. Some of you guys, and I'm saying a lot, but some of you guys are really trying to find meaning, okay? And not necessarily in a person, but just in the experience alone that you've been going through. You're trying to find that meaning, and it's lost upon you right now, which is really good, because that's when some of the answers will come to you, okay? Not knowing and surrendering to all outcomes and the variables of this illusory experience we are partaking in. But don't just stop cooperating because you feel lost. It just means that whatever you have been involved in or partaking in, especially if this is a relationship, it just wasn't working for you, right? You weren't compatible. Don't just be in something to have a warm body. And I feel like you guys get that as well. You need something that is a little bit more revolutionary and transformative. You need to explore a little bit more. You need to delve into something else that is a little bit more creative, especially if this is involving work. Okay, maybe it's just not allowing you to really be that creatively expressive, right? So it's stifling in a sense, which is not bringing you joy. So maybe it's time to walk away from that job. And with the Eight of Cups, if on an emotional level, it can feel heavy and burdensome, because with Scorpio energy, and I'm sure you Aquariuses are like that too, but Scorpios are extremely loyal, you know, and can be loyal to a fault. So maybe you're having to look at that as well. Don't let your loyalties to things make you feel like you're settling in life for something that isn't really going to be fulfilling at the end of the day. Like, yes, the job provided a great opportunity for you, and yes, you've met some really great people, right? You've been networking, and to some sense you feel bound by affection. I'm not sure like how I'm trying to really say that. Like, once you have a connection to something and it holds sentimental value, it can be very hard to release. Namely, like, especially like a job. But if you were to die, right, with the Scorpio energy, your job would be up for grabs. within the next 24 hours. So as much as things and people may seem like they care for you and are looking after you and are taking care of you, there is no sense of permanency. What is that called? Like job security as well, right? You will never actually have job security, especially with the climate that we are living in, the social climate that we're living in, and everything just being very quick, you know. And I'm getting the image of like Forever 21 and like their clothes and everything, how they rapidly produce things for a very cheap value, or at a cheap price, asking price. It's like that. Because I'm saying that, I'm also now thinking about like negotiations. Maybe there are some things that you have to negotiate in the month of May, and things have to be fair, and if they're not, be willing to walk away from it, right? Like, no, that's not enough for me, okay? Especially with the job. Maybe they're not paying you what you are due, you know? You're worth everything that you say you are, if you believe you're worthy of anything at all. Again, concepts of self-worth with that Empress card that was peeking out there. Okay, being open to negotiations. Relationships are contractual, right? It's very business oriented. Yes, you should live and speak from the heart, but also have sound decision-making abilities when going into a relationship. Like, if that person can't meet your emotional needs, and you get married to them, you're not ever going to be happy, and they may never do what they need to change. You have to already have that established going into the relationship, okay? Like, this is what I'm able to do, this is what I'm looking for, right? Because you're looking for a helpmate, somebody that has the strengths in areas where you feel weak, and vice versa. And if they can't do those things, right, it's always going to feel like lackluster, and the bare minimum is all that they can offer you. And yeah, sometimes people fall short, especially like if you have a partner that may have lost a job or something like that, or may have lost a family member and they may become depressed. Like, there's going to be a change in dynamic, there's going to be a change in the mood of the relationship. You as well, you may be incurring a lot of deaths in the family or something like that. With the energy here, can't rule it out, right? And it's understanding that everybody comes and has that moment in life where they part ways from their physical body, and maybe you're needing to understand that a little bit more, because a lot of people around you are like leaving you or just dying or something like that. And it can take a toll, right? You can't expect for you to just be mentally sound, but at the same time, there comes a point where it's unhealthy for you to stay in those spaces, right? And to remain in those relationships. If people can never climb out of it, your mental health will only decline, your emotional health will only decline by trying to be there for somebody that, just for lack of word, just can't seem to get it together. Again, going back to that loyalties, you can't feel obligated to be there for somebody who just brings you down, right? And that just keeps you sad, or that just always wants to be sad because they're not proactive in trying to find the help that they need. You're nobody's therapist, especially in a relationship. Yeah, you guys should be able to rely on one another and be able to have conversations and be able to feel like you have somebody who you can share in your challenges and having, right, and going through. But at the end of the day, you're not the cure. So that's what's coming through for you guys. As far as the chakras, this card has all blue. So work on the throat chakra, which can also lead up into the heart chakra. And make sure that you are being more sensitive. Maybe you guys are feeling a little bit more sensitive this month, and it can come as far as you feeling like in your throat, you know, feeling a little choked up, like you want to cry. Allow for yourself to have that moment and release. You may be feeling moody, and when you watch this video, and if you felt that already, then you kind of know how to get to the root of it, right? So that's what's coming through for you guys. If this reading resonated, definitely give me a thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family. Subscribe for more. And if you want to book a personal private reading with me, you absolutely can. I will leave my email in the description box as well as here for you guys. I start as low as $10 for a 3-card spread, and then it just goes up from there depending on how much more you need. If I don't speak with you when you book with me or in the comment section below, definitely connect with me. Then do take care of yourself until you hear from me again. Ciao.